Market.
Yeah, market. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Dermick, and this is Georgina Speaks podcast. And I'm here today to interview Curtis Thmpson, who's been kind enough to take the time, and I very much appreciate it. I'm kind of a halfway musician myself, and so I have a great deal of love for the local musicians and local artists and open mics and all the stuff that they do just to support local artists. And Curtis is a big part of that locally, and so I wanted to interview regarding that. And so before we get started, again, Georgina Speaks podcast, interviewing Curtis Thmpson at the Thmpson family potato farm, and hence the name Tater Stock, which we'll get into later because I really want to hear Curtis's song, so go ahead.
Absolutely. By the way, you're more than just a half-assed musician. You're a pretty damn good one.
That's kind of you.
A heart on the run keeps a hand on the gun. Can't trust anyone. I was so sure what I needed was more dread to shoot out the sun. In days when we raged, we flew off the page. Such damage was done. But I made it through. Somebody knew I was meant for someone. So girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving this room. Somebody needs medical help or the magnolias bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. So cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good. Put your faith to the test when I tore off your dress in Richmond all night. I sobered up and I swore off that stuff forever this time. And the old lovers say I thought it'd be me who helped him get home. But home was a dream, one that I never seen till you came home. So girl, hang that dress up to dry. We ain't leaving this room till Percy Priest breaks open wide and the river runs through. And carries this house on the stones like a piece of driftwood. So cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good. So girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving cover me up. I know you're enough to use me for good. So cover me up. I know you're enough to use me for good.
Totally amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Curtis.
Jason
Listen,
Isbell, not Morgan Wallen.
I was going to ask who's that, and so it's Cover Me Up is the name of the song?
Cover Me Up is the name of the song.
And
It's about
artist
sobriety.
That wrote it? Oh, yeah, sobriety. I know of what you speak. I've been down that path anyway, many years ago.
Me
So,
too, brother.
Right on, so we were supposed to be here.
Yeah, man.
So here's the deal. For me, this interview is about your participation in local music and your activities in terms of supporting it. And your new better half.
Definitely better half.
I'm absolutely intrigued in the amalgamation of your family and stuff. It's just bloody lovely to watch, and I enjoy it. You know, I love your kids, right?
It's certainly intriguing.
Yeah, no doubt. It's an adventure. I've been down that road too, and you know what? Kids have this way of bringing everything into focus
Yeah,
about what's important.
Yeah.
And they certainly know how to hold their own, don't they?
Oh, they sink their claws into you. They really in, man.
So we'll talk about that a little later. So right now, I guess, where does your love of music come from?
Ever since I was a kid, I mean, my mom taught me piano when I was little.
So your mom played piano?
Yeah, my mom is a concert pianist.
Oh, man.
She doesn't play much anymore, but we've got a baby grand piano back at the house that she received in an inheritance. It's a family heirloom.
Right.
And when she got that piano when we were kids, she took up playing again and started teaching us lessons. And ever since then, I mean, it wasn't too long after that got into guitar and
Yeah.
always been singing. I mean, my
So it's
dad's
in
an
your
excellent
family.
singer.
Music's in your family.
Oh yeah, it's deeply ingrained.
The baby grand that you inherited obviously come from family.
Yeah.
Before that was so your family has a long history of music involvement.
Yeah, my grandfather on my mom's side is a very excellent musician, and he also taught me a little bit of guitar, like starting out. And,
Yeah.
You know, there's just a lot of inspiration there, like especially from my mom's side of a lot of musicians and music lovers.
Yeah, it's what's kind of funny is my father played piano and guitar my whole childhood, and his brother Elwood, he was a fiddler. My grandfather and grandmother were fiddlers, and my aunt, my dad's sister, was a piano player.
Right.
Like they would get down, they would literally hook up a horse and buggy in the 1930s and 40s, and go down to the local barn dance on a Saturday night. And Grandpa would get up and fiddle until he got tired, and Grandma would get up and take his place, and they would all,
So cool.
So that is the history of it. And so I grew up. And then my cousins were all farmers, and my grandfather was a farmer, and his brother, and they're all plowing the fields and stuff. But music was their not escape, but it was their lovely place to be. A lovely place to support. It's like a support or whatever.
It's incredible. It's like therapy, man.
Yeah, it is therapy. I always conclude my open mic sessions with this concludes my therapy for the evening. You know?
Absolutely, it helps.
Yeah, so that's great. Well, so then you can tell you have a deep ingrained love of music, and that's great. So in the last couple of years, certain things have happened. We're changing the old guard for the new guard, which is Connor Bowden, the Joe McLeod, and
Right.
Riley Griffith,
Mm-hmm.
and they were kind of in the area because they're all Connor's music, and they kind of got kind of events and stuff going, and now they've all kind of gone on with their lives, and new people are taking over. Rachel being one of them,
Absolutely.
yourself being one of them, and I love Ryan and Ryan, George,
Sam.
and Sam. Yeah, those three are just killing it. They got their band going on, and they're getting gigs and stuff. And yeah, I love all three of them. They're all really talented in their own light.
They sound fantastic.
So you guys have gotten involved, Rachel, mostly like on the front end in terms of gigs in Keswick, and then you're working on a lot of stuff to do with like the Lions and Son, and you're working with. How's Mike? How's things going with Mike? You and Mike.
Good. We've got.
How did you end up?
Oh, we just met the same way I met everyone I know right now, which is an open mic.
Yeah.
At Jamie's open mic a couple of years ago, just he got up and we were just sitting there going, "Man, this guy's good."
At Bailey's?
No, not at Bailey's, at Thmpson Cafe.
Oh, really?
This was only about 2 years ago now.
Oh, yeah, okay, I keep forgetting.
Just being there, he'd come in after work and just go up and play some absolute killer tunes, and so we met that way and started singing.
He's got a killer country voice, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like he's just a natural, and an incredibly sweet person, too, eh? So, I remember I seen him play actually back at Bailey's one night. I seen him first time at the Sutton Fair. I won the songwriters contest that year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did actually, with a song called Painted Blue. I'll tell you about it sometime. But Georgina, Michelle Vaca hosted Georgina Speaks.
Right on.
Not Georgina Speaks. Maiden Georgina.
Okay.
That was a contest, and I submitted a song, and I won that contest that year. And
cool.
So I played it at the Sutton Fair and so on. And then I seen Mike that year. That was the first time I seen Mike, and I just heard him, and he was just such a natural force.
Yeah.
Like literally a force in terms of country music.
Yeah.
And I had so much respect for him. And then I seen him. And then one night I asked him would you do a song of mine if I wrote something that would suit your style? He said, yeah, right away. He just said yes, of course.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to get something together ever since because he's got a really interesting voice, but it's so distinctly country, and I'm not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But finding a balance.
Yeah, we started singing. I just asked him, if you ever want to do anything together, let me know. And we did a couple cover songs. I think we did "Can't You See," one of our first ones. I think "Down to the Honky Tonk." And ever since then, we've been playing together. He invited me out to a party that they were having at their place.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize he was going to be performing the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So as soon as I got there, he's like, "Come up on stage,
come do it, yeah.
Come play with me." So we played together for a couple hours, just trading songs, trying to play with each other right on the spot.
Yeah.
And, that's
an interesting process, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's where we came up with the name Pink California.
Yeah.
Because that's what we like. We were both wearing pink shirts.
Yeah.
And we're both playing these. They're Fender guitars that are. They're a really, really wacky shape. They've got like a Stratocaster headstock on them, and we're both playing his guitars, and we're like, oh, we're both wearing pink shirts. We're both playing California guitars, like Pink California. That's our band
deal,
name.
Eh? Yeah,
so that was that was really where things kicked off, and it really kind of strengthened our friendship, and the music really just took over.
I can tell you, man. I listened. I went down to record one of your an event that you and Mike were doing down at the Lions and Son.
Yeah.
That night, and that's the first time I heard the two of you performing as a duo since you'd been practicing and stuff together.
Right.
Totally amazing. Like you melted it amazingly. And
Thank you.
No, it was great. It was a good. That whole thing about whether you nail it or not, or whether you get it right or not, like all of that's a difficult waters to maneuver if you worry about it too much.
It doesn't matter as long as you have the right energy.
Yeah.
You can get by on mistakes as long as you're having fun, basically.
Absolutely, and you can tell you two are really enjoying one another's company.
Oh, absolutely.
In the music, you were just at it, and so that's kind of great. So I guess another area I wanted to talk about was all the events and activities that are going on around. You see, Perry, he hosts a lot of stuff. He's working on a lot of parties and stuff. You did Tater Stock this year.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how that came into fruition, and then the first year and the second year.
Well, the first year, it was just an idea
of I always wanted to collaborate with people and always wanted to do duets and harmonies and stuff like that. So
the first year, I was like,
well, I'll book a show, and then during the show, I'll have all my friends come up and sing with me for parts of it, right? So I did 4 hours. I did 2 sets, about an hour and a half each. And I had 8 different performers, and over the course of the night, they came up, joined me for a couple songs, and then they left. And then I would play a song solo, and then the next performer would come up. So that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it had a really good turnout, though.
Yeah.
And it was a really, really fun night.
That's what I heard. I remember I dropped the iPad off to record it.
Yeah.
I actually have all the video still.
Yeah, I think I still have your thumb drive.
Yeah, well, yeah, all right. I'll send the police over that.
Sorry. I'll get that
I don't
back
care.
to you.
It's all good. So yeah, that was interesting. I remember seeing all the footage. Everybody looked like they were having fun. Yeah, and then you guys photobombed me when you sent my iPad back to open it up, and here's like boom, 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 boom. You deliberately sent me a bunch of photos of the whole gang, like different people.
Oh yeah.
You photobombed me there. It was lovely because you know what's funny about that? It might be silly, but for me, I opened it up and I looked at it, and I knew you were thinking about me at that time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which was sweet, eh? So
and we were all, having a couple drinks and we
Yeah,
were having
having a
fun
laugh
and going
and,
like,
yeah.
oh, you know what? Tim's gonna look at all this stuff.
yeah. So
let's
thanks
send
for
him some
including
stuff
me
to
in the
make him
party.
smile.
I couldn't make it, so thanks for including me. That was lovely.
Yeah, that was a hell of a night that night.
Yep.
For sure.
So and then Tater Stock this year.
Yeah, so this
Do
year
you have any video of it?
I've got loads of video.
Good, 'cause
my
I'm gonna
dad took some almost the entire event.
Oh, good.
So like he has a video camera now, so
Yep.
he got some really good high quality footage of most of it, and then that camera died, so he's got some cell phone videos of the last two performers.
Right.
But this year it was more of a showcase of the other people instead of just
Sure.
myself.
Yeah.
Because that last year, it was too much work, and I wouldn't be able to sing for 4 hours this year.
Yeah, there you go.
So this year we actually did it from 5 o'clock till 11, and I had I think 9 different.
No, I
acts.
remember the list was quite extensive, and
Yeah.
there was. You can talk a little bit about the people that showed up.
Yeah, well, they were all it was all ended up being groups.
Yeah.
There were no solo performers, so
The Brothers Good were there.
yeah. So Rachel and myself did the first one,
Right.
and then Wild Cards, which is Perry Abbo and Sean Murphy,
Right.
And then after that we had Kingsman, which is Dawson and Duncan Swain,
Yeah.
father and son duo,
Yeah.
and then the opening act, Ken Carlton and Tamara Ward.
Oh yeah.
And we
They're
had-
amazing.
They're fantastic.
They're amazing. There's, I did a song. They were just, they're so funny too. Like they're really decent, down to earth people. And
they're so good.
I laughed. He stood up the mic and they were getting ready to do a song that they were just still in the process of writing, and they nailed it when they played it. And we were all kind of like almost misty because it was such a lovely song.
Mm-hmm.
But when they went to start, she said, "Well, hey, I got to get a." She went to get a water because her voice. He said, "Oh yeah, she's got a drinking problem." And yeah. So and Perry said, "I won't tell anybody." He said, "Oh, I will. Yeah, all day long." They're just a sweet. You see their chemistry together is just lovely.
Fantastic. They're fun, and they're so nice.
Very
you
much
know,
so.
Just in general,
Yeah.
I love talking to them and hanging out.
You can tell they have a passion for their music that they're doing, which is really sweet.
Oh yeah, and they gig
Yeah.
a lot. They play a lot of shows, and it's
Yep.
it's because they love getting out there and doing that, right? You can't play 200 shows a year
No.
and not care about it very deeply. They came from another show and did Tater Stock the same day.
Really?
I had to move around the bookings a little bit because they were like, "Oh, we're playing till 5 o'clock, so you gotta give us an hour to get there." And
It's like going through all that. And
I know, and
If they would do all of that, yeah, I'm going to make sure you have some room. Just
Absolutely,
Come,
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
yeah.
kind of how it works, eh?
But it was an incredible lineup. I mean, we had midweek weekend, Derek Riley and
I remember
Braden,
that, yeah. And the
Ryan,
brothers
Sam,
brothers
and
good play
George.
too, didn't they?
Yep, Brothers Good. And we played with a band that we created just for that night, which is called the Baked Potatoes, which
Oh,
was
yeah.
Me and Rachel and George and Sam.
Half baked or half baked potatoes? I
A
should
little
have said.
bit, honestly.
Yeah.
It was a little bit half baked.
Yeah,
but,
well, sometimes that's the best fun, eh?
we threw it together in about
yeah.
a couple weeks, basically. So
You know what? Do you ever? Ryan's a wicked guitar player, isn't he?
he's insane.
He's
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, okay.
He's singing really well too.
Yeah, I
like-
noticed he's coming in. I said to him like last time I seen him, I was in there because I love his guitar.
Yeah.
And he'll if I call him and I always pay him if somebody's asked me, can you come and play a few songs? It doesn't happen that often, but I've actually been asked to go play some. Well, they couldn't get somebody. But no,
Don't sell yourself short.
well, no, I won't. So I don't sell my. I love my music, and then I entertain the shit out of myself. So watch my language. No, I won't. So, what the hell with it. So, but so I pay him, and he comes, and I go to there like a lesson. I go for a lesson once a week, and I just play my songs, and he wails on his guitar.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. I used to do it with John all the time.
Man.
So then I have someone who knows my songs.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, we're going to be there. Can you be? Oh yeah, he'll be there, and he loves it. And so when I started doing that with him, he had never played before with people and stuff, so he was coming out like he was learning too, right? And so it's amazing. But he played two pieces on a $1,000 golden guitar.
Yeah.
You seen the one I buy all the time, and I take it to Cuba, and I give it to the winner. juveniles. You got to see their faces when they win that. But so I always get someone at Connors to play. I get John to play a little piece on it, and I post a video of the new Godin's in, right? So Ryan was there. I said, well, here, play a piece. He played a couple of pieces just off the cuff. And I keep telling him, you know what, and I might not be good at dice, I don't know. But when I hear his guitar, I hear it's like who he is.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and when I listened to those two pieces he played, I said, Ryan, you know, always take a classical guitar to whatever gig you're at. When everybody's leaving at the end of a set, just pick it up and say, I have a little something I'd like to offer for myself. And just do a little piece.
Yeah.
And what made me think of it was I watched Eric Clapton on stage with all the most famous players in the world, because everybody's with Clapton, right? Because anybody he asks to show up shows up. And then all of a sudden everybody walked off stage and he played Oh Danny Boy.
Right.
A real intricate picking version of that. And I remember that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Oh, it really, like, when things quiet down and, like, you go from, you know, things can be big and audacious and rowdy, but when you can bring that back down to just like one person
doing
and
that,
just do one, like, and man, it hits so much harder. Like, it's the peaks and valleys, right? Like, you have the high, but the high doesn't mean as much until you have the low, and the low doesn't mean anything unless you have the high.
Right.
So that energy level fluctuating really
I just love his guitar.
Oh yeah.
And I love who he is and what it is, and I just so he's great. Sammy's coming into her own, and George too. And it's funny you said about Ryan's voice, because I heard him the first time. Where did I hear him the first time? And I thought he sounded like shit.
You're always honest.
Well, no, but I sounded like shit the first few times I tried to do it too, because I was so nervous, and it was the same for him.
The first time I did an open mic, I didn't sing into the mic. I was way back here. Mike was here. I was way back here.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, he didn't sound like shit, but you could just tell he was struggling with his voice.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't seen him for a while, and then the next time I seen him, man, he was like, he had progressed. He was gauging it all and doing it, and you could tell he was getting into the vocals then.
Confidence is it's probably one of the most important things for singing and performing.
Jim McKenna from City TV used to be a sports reporter, whatever.
I'm not
anyway,
sure I do.
I seen him. We were at somewhere. He wasn't there. Anything to do with me, but he just happened to be at the same place I was at one time. And I went up and asked him, I said, can I ask you a question? And he said, certainly. I said, how do you do that in front of people? You just step up, and then anybody hands you something, and you do it comfortably, because I've never been able to. He said, you know what? It's about self-centeredness, and so right away your hair gets up in the back of your neck. What do you mean? So I said, no, it's not a bad thing. It's about self-forgetting. You just people don't give a shit about you. They're not there to see you. Mm-hmm. They're here to hear the music. They're here to hear what it is you have to say, whatever you're announcing. Make it about that.
Yeah.
And that's all.
It's not about you as a person. It's about the act.
Yeah, it's just about the music itself, the song you're singing, the speech you're giving, whatever. So if you just turn all your energies on that.
Yeah.
And lately, I have to say, I'm really comfortable behind the mic. Touch wood, whatever. I don't have to touch wood. I'm comfortable. I know I am now, and I found my spot somehow.
Hey, man, you know what? When you get up there, everyone pays attention, and they play original songs too, and that's very important.
I love my original songs, because I had a reason to go meet with a Swamini, if you can imagine that.
Really?
Of the Hindu religion.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm working on a spiritual journey of some sorts, and so I'd asked someone to get me a hold of it. I just wanted to talk to like a minister or something. They hooked me up with this Swamini in Toronto, lovely woman. So we established why I was there to talk to her, and then we chatted. It was a lovely chat for a couple hours. This was amazing. And so we finished, and I said, I didn't know what to bring for a gift for your congregation or whatever. And she said, oh, no, you don't have to. That's quite all right. I said, no, I did bring my guitar. I could play a couple of songs for you. And she said, yeah, bring it in and play it. She's like 90 years old. So I brought it in. I played her 2 or 3 of my originals. And I said, she enjoyed it, and that's fine. So I got up to leave, and I said, well, can I give you a hug? So she got up. And as I gave her a hug, she leaned in and whispered in my ear, never forget that your songs are prayers.
Yeah. I can believe that.
Right? Well, because everything you write comes from inside, right?
Yeah.
So that really helped me a lot, and kind of put it into focus. Okay, what am I doing with these songs? Why am I writing them? And so I love my music. I love my own writing, and it's me. It ain't rock and roll, but it is me, you know.
Man, that's all you can hope to be.
So, what is on your horizon as far as music is concerned?
I think getting into more event planning and stuff has been a really interesting challenge. I'd like to do another event before the end of the year, probably in the summer.
Right.
I'd like to do some kind of, maybe a charity event or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
kind of showcase of other people.
Sure.
Maybe get some bands out and stuff. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Just continuing to, try to be better than I was yesterday, because trying to compete with other people is hard. But when you take, you take yourself and what you did today
Yeah.
and try to be better tomorrow, that's the best way to improve.
Yeah, yeah. It's
So-
and it's funny you say that way because it's almost like being lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm somewhere now and I love this up to the next level.
Yeah, so the
But how
song
do I do
played
that?
At the beginning of this, like if I look back, like Rachel
Yeah.
has a video of me singing that song at one of my first gigs, right?
Right.
It was over a year and a half ago now.
Yeah, that's a lovely
And
song, by the way.
She watches that video and goes, "This was your best performance of this song." So ever since then, I'm trying to say, okay, like, how can I get better than that? So I hope that what I did just now, a year and a half later, after experience of performing and playing and singing, I hope it's better than that. But I guess we'll have to wait to see
Well,
what she
you know
says.
what? You know how I know that I'm really going to nail it on any given night if I don't record it.
Yeah, that's true.
You ever notice that? Like
That's true.
whenever I record it, and it's not from nervousness or anything, but I screw up and I make mistakes. But I've learned just to keep on trucking, man.
The best things I've ever done are at home.
Yeah, yeah. And then no, but I'll get up and then I haven't got my recording stuff that night, and I'm in a hurry. I'm just stopped by, so I'm going to play my 3 songs, get on my way. And for some reason that night, I really needed it somehow, and it just the whole thing just comes together for all 3 songs, and it's a really good night.
Yeah.
And I have got no record of it.
It's classic, man. It always happens that way.
Yeah.
Or, someone takes a video of a song you do,
Yeah.
and it's the worst part of the worst song.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, like, I wish you would have recorded this song instead.
Well, I don't think we could record an interview without talking about that scoundrel, eh?
Who?
Rennie?
Rennie?
I'm just kidding. I
Man.
love Rennie to death. So what's your... he farms too?
No, he grew up on a farm, I think.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But he's
It's
a
hard
horse
to
farmer.
nail him down.
He's a horse farmer, if that counts.
Oh,
a
yeah.
horse enthusiast.
Oh, a horse enthusiast. So,
But Renee's
so he's
just
made a few
a-
bucks then. That's
Yeah, probably not. I think he's spent more money than he's made.
my favorite thing to do is waste money. I love
Oh,
it.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Renee was at my the very first open mic
Yeah.
I ever went to, and I went in and I didn't really know anybody, and I didn't know what I was really gonna do. Like I had a set, but like I didn't
Yeah.
know what the protocol was, and I went in and they go, "Oh, go talk to Renee. He'll sign you up."
Yeah.
So I went in, I signed myself up on the board because I was
Yeah.
too scared to talk to anybody, and I went and sat down, and immediately, being the outgoing person he is, he came over and shook my hand and sat down next to me and introduced himself and made me talk to him for the entire night.
Nice.
And introduced me, like, he's introduced me to everybody that I know. Like, all the very first connections I made to Perry, to Matt, to all these, people that have become important people in my life. Like, I met them because Renee was so nice to me that day that he made me keep coming back.
He has a real knack for letting you know that he's with you that
Yeah.
day. Like if he's with, there's no.
And ever since then, he's been a real asshole.
Well, yeah, of course. but he can take it too.
Oh,
So,
yeah, man. You know what?
that's
He's
the whole-
genuinely one of my favorite people.
Yeah, me too. Like I appreciate his sense of humor, and I appreciate his genuine way of approach there. No,
He's a
I love Randy.
fantastic, person. Like, not only just as
He's
a
a
guy.
respected member of the music family of this area.
and he
for sure.
deserves it too
Yeah,
because
100%.
he does so much. Like, Renee doesn't go out and host events and do big gigs, but what he does for people, for individual people, is
Yep.
so important. He gives people that boost that they need.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I needed. I needed someone to
Yeah,
to
he
make
does.
me
Yeah,
talk. to
he's
him.
done that with me too. Like he'll tell me, he'll critique something I've done. He said, "Oh yeah, that's a great song. Don't ever be afraid to just play it.
Yeah.
Or don't ever be afraid to play your standards.
Yeah.
At least one of your standards all the time." Like,
The most important thing that he told me for the first 10 or 15 mics I went to was
Yep.
10% more. That was good, but next time, 10% more.
Yeah.
And after a while, I was giving it everything I had. And he goes, that's what you do. you always give it
110%.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
and
no.
if you're not giving it 110%, then it shows in your performance.
Yeah, and you're tired of being there. So
Yeah.
you have to make up your mind, do you want it, are you going to be there or not?
Yeah.
It's like being there when you're there.
It's excellent advice.
Yeah.
And for everything too. I mean, if you ever feel like you're not doing something well enough, just give it 10% more. That's a manageable goal.
Yeah. Everything I ever learned in life, I learned from old women. No, I'm telling you, it's the truth. When I was 35, one old woman told me if she ever wanted to be remembered for anything, it was for being there when she was there. When she was with you, your mind's not somewhere else, like being there when she's there.
Yeah.
And that's pretty, it's 35 years later and I still remember it.
But that's Renee. He's always there.
He's there when
for
you-
better or for worse.
When he's there, he's there.
He's
You can't-
always there.
Yeah, you can't ask for better than that. Eh?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
No. He's present when he's present. I'm trying to think of, so Perry, he's got a bunch of stuff coming up.
Perry's another extremely important person in the music
Well,
community.
yeah, I wanted to talk to him about him a little bit. I'm going to be interviewing him soon.
Good.
And we're going to be hosting a rock and roll band from Cuba.
Really?
I have a very dear friends group of mine. They're called Bouquet. They're premium rock and roll.
That is awesome.
Billy Idol, like all the old standards, and they're just tight at all times.
Is
'cause
that
they
at
have
the
to be.
Line and Son?
No, they're in Cuba actually right now. I got to bring them. I have to actually bring them.
Okay.
So we got to get them visas. So we have to design our events. So then the visa application is they're coming to attend these events. So then,
Right.
and I have to do it. I have to make sure it ends up credible. It has to be credible. It can't just be something you throw together because immigration. It's
Yeah.
like you're doing a scam to get some people here. Or
They'll
something.
ask you questions.
Well, they can. So you have to be able to answer the question.
Yeah.
That's the secret. Yeah. So I talked to Perry, and right away he said, "Yeah, of course I'll do that." And Dana's going to help too with some stuff. So we're just going to try and get a whole host of musicians, get them a bunch of
Yeah.
events, and do a 3 or 4 week thing where they come and play a couple events a week with some Canadian bands. So
But that's been my experience with Perry. Is everything you ask him, it's yes.
yeah. Well,
And
that's
he will always he's so willing to
he will
help.
put a lot of energy into doing anything he
Absolutely.
can. Yeah. No, I mean,
I don't think there's a more influential person in this local
area for music.
Yeah, he is like the godfather.
That's going to change soon.
of-
But,
I hope not. I hope it's always Perry.
yeah. Well, no. Perry will always be counseling like the godfather for anybody of that whole circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Perry's a guy who loaned me a PA system when I needed it. Showed me how to mix sound. Showed me, the way to treat
Yeah, he'll
people.
take time.
Like,
He'll take the time.
he is the go-to guy for anything I need if I really just need help with something.
So, are you and Rachel going to be doing entertainment events together, or are you going to do your own? Is she going to do her own, or figure that
It's
out yet?
been sort of more like individual up
She
until this
supports
point.
whatever you're doing, and you support
Yeah,
whatever she's
exactly.
doing. Yeah, that makes sense.
We book our things individually, but usually we can count on the other person being there to help. I think she's more of a help than I am because I'm less experienced in it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have been able to do Tater Stock if she wasn't there doing the sound and bringing her experience into it.
She's extremely intelligent. She's really intuitive in terms of
Yeah.
picking a direction on the spot because something's
Yeah.
happened. So we got.
And I try to just
Yeah.
with her events, I just show up and I do what I can, which is a lot of the time staying out of the way.
Yeah.
Because being a friendly face in the audience is important.
Yeah.
If she needs help with anything, she knows I'm there.
You know
but
what?
also just making sure that she can do her thing unimpeded is what I can do.
My
to
hardest
help.
thing to do is actually just sit down and relax.
Yeah.
It really is. Like for me, it's like I show up. Okay, I'll stay because I have a reason to stay because I got to video everybody because I'm trying to support everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I need an excuse to come and stay and relax.
Yeah.
So that's it, and then sometimes like in the early days, I would just show up and do my 3 songs. I got to get home. I got my dogs. Like the dogs won't wait an hour for me,
Yeah,
right?
they'll be fine.
Yeah, but I just book it. I love the company of others right up until they want to love my company, and then it's like it makes me nervous. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing, but I've learned to deal with it, and I'm comfortable. I love everybody, and I love all the action, what's going on, the controversy, the disagreements, the
Oh
agreements.
man, there's so much drama.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. I don't need to turn the TV on. I can just
No, I know. You just
show
go on
up.
Facebook.
100%. And so, how's Rachel and the kids?
They're great.
What's upcoming events for you? Anything?
I don't have anything concrete booked. I know that Rachel's doing a gig with their band, which is Ryan, Sam, and George, and I think Aaron Cunningham is with them this time.
Oh, yeah.
So that's at the end of April.
That's at the beach.
That's at the Orchard Beach.
Orchard Beach, yeah, I'm hoping to
or it's
make
called
that
the
one.
Beach now.
Yeah, the
but
Beach.
yeah, they've got a band gig coming up. She's doing her open mics.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I've got stuff booked with Mike and the full band there.
Yeah.
So we're doing the Mount Albert Fair this year.
Oh, nice.
And the Sutton Fair, and we've also got a gig booked for the next song that's coming out.
Oh, nice.
So that's at the end of May at the Belleville Hall, I
He
think.
must love that support too, because I got to tell you, thank you. You stepped in at the symposium one night when I was doing my blues song,
Oh yeah,
and it was lovely because,
I'll always do that.
well, I know. Check out. I posted Dana at the mess hall with me the other night, and you know Dana.
Yeah,
He's
I
like
love David.
wild.
He's awesome.
Like he's wild on the guitar.
Yeah, and singing and everything.
Incredibly
Keyboard.
intuitive. Yeah, keyboard, everything. So I said, yeah, you want to back me up for some blues? He stepped up, and so when when you have a guitar player, and you're singing your own songs and all the rest of it, it's so nice because you just walk away from the mic and run through the chords,
Yeah.
and
Let 'em go.
they entertain the crowd, and then
Yeah.
you make your grocery list, do whatever you want to do. You know?
Yeah, it's like one of those kids' toys, right? You wind them up, that's
Yep.
you singing the verse,
Yep.
and then you let them go, and you get a second to just breathe and think about
Yeah,
it.
so it creates some space to work in, and
Yeah.
it's really neat.
Working in a full band is not something that I'm super experienced in. Learning to give everybody space to do their
do their
thing,
thing, yeah,
and
yeah.
especially being in a band with multiple guitar players has, I think, really improved my playing because
Yeah.
it's sort of teaching you how to do less and make more out of it.
Yeah,
So that's been a really, really fun experience.
I bet it is.
And other than those band gigs,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything booked, but I will be. I
Yeah.
will be doing lots of things, especially over the summer
Right.
when I've got a little bit of time. Like spring planting and fall harvest is like no gigs, just farm.
Yeah.
But like in between, like especially over the winter and like the early summer period, I get lots of time to go out and do fun things. So I'll be doing music in the streets with Rachel, and I'll be doing all kinds of things. I'm sure we'll book some more duet gigs.
Yeah, there's music in the streets is coming up. Rachel's going to do. You get the crates again this year, probably.
I don't know. I don't think anything's booked, but she's looking for places to do that. So
Yeah.
we were thinking of trying to host something here at the farm, but we just want to make sure that we're
People will go there.
doing everything properly, and we got to
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
bathroom for people. So nothing's concrete. Don't show up here expecting music, but
Free potatoes, free
everything will
potatoes.
be sufficiently advertised when we figure something out. I know she wants to keep doing that because
Yeah.
those events were a lot of fun, like the summer summer series.
I was in Cuba when the first one went on, and I just remember seeing it on. I missed another one. You know, like
Yeah.
and then I got a really neat experience for me, and you'd relate to this probably, but I played the first Kitchen Fest.
Yeah, I was gonna go to that, but that happens right in the middle of harvest.
I was in Cuba. I didn't know. No, I went to the first one and I performed it. But how I come about was he seen me at the Sutton Fair, and he messaged me and he said, "Tim, I seen you at the Sutton Fair. Can you come and play? You know, first time someone, I seen you play. Can you come and play for me? You know, like that was a really neat experience for me because."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then right after that, I was down at the Food Basics saying, "No pictures, no pictures." You know, like.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, so I mean, with those kind of summer events that Rachel does, like,
Yeah.
just shoot her a text, and she always accommodates every people. Like, she doesn't invite people to play.
Well,
She just, whoever wants to come do it, we allocate time for them.
Well, that's good to know because I didn't know that. And the thing is that you don't want to show up and put someone on the spot like they have to put you up.
If
because
it's
you showed up.
something that isn't billed, like if it's something that has a lineup,
Yeah.
then probably not. But usually, like the way that she ran those summer events, it was just whoever shows up, basically we find a time slot for them.
No, there you go. Well, I'll keep that in mind then. I'm going to show up, right?
Absolutely. We want you to.
No. Well, the thing is that's a real dicey area with all the artists as far as where you are in your progression of stuff, and you don't want to impose, take advantage of a friendship. You don't want to.
I feel that. I feel that for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a whole host of stuff there, and I've learned to laugh at myself about how my little feelings hurt. Get your little feelings hurt, and then I laugh at myself.
Well, that was the feeling that I had with Tater Stock a little bit, was just trying to I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pay people at first, and
Yeah, yeah.
thankfully, the event was pretty successful, and everybody who performed got paid, which is awesome.
Really?
Yeah, so that was
No,
beautiful.
I'm pissed I didn't get invited.
Well, so
no,
the
I'm just
farm-
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm
Thmpson
kidding.
Potato Farm sponsored part of that event,
Yeah.
which gave me, like, put me over the threshold where I could actually pay people a little bit of money.
Oh, nice.
So we sold a cover charge at the door, and you know, so many people came that I was like, you know, we had 16 performers that night.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, you know,
Well,
it's gonna take.
a few bucks and
Yeah, so but I didn't want to feel like I was taking advantage of people, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And the
I know.
last thing I want to do is ask someone to do something and they feel obligated because we're friends.
well, okay. So then you know what the whole dynamic is, and then
Uh-huh.
I'd rather have the conversation
Yeah.
and keep it real and the best you can, and
Yeah.
carry on. You'd laugh at this. Bouquet. These guys are like the most. It wouldn't surprise you to see them be the lead on for a most famous band, like opening act for. Like that's how good they are. They're
Right.
just that good, and then they stop in the middle of the act. Tim Nammer's going to come up and play a couple songs. Yeah, so
Talking about putting you on the spot.
I do it all the time, and I don't care. Like you know, they love me, I'm in. You know, I do my
Yeah.
thing, and so it's lovely. So when we finished this year, the first time I played, and so they have a jar, and you know, all the Canadian guys are there because we all love this band, right? So everybody puts some money in. So I'm back and I say, here, give me 100 pesos. He said, I said, no, give me 100 pesos. He said, and he said, okay, what for? I said, no, I can say I'm a paid actor. he pissed himself laughing. He said, yeah, right on. He said, I'll give it 100 pesos is like 30 cents, right?
Yeah.
He said, give me 100 pesos. Now I'm a paid actor, and I can tell people in Canada. And here's the good news. People in Canada think I'm famous in Cuba. People in Cuba think I'm famous in Canada.
Oh, beautiful.
And I'm a legend in my own mind, so I got it all covered.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking the time, Curtis.
Hey man, I appreciate it too. I love talking.
And the thing is so if you have an event coming up, I have this song, I have other songs of yours and stuff. If you might have an event coming up, shoot me a vid and I'll make an announcement event.
Absolutely. I
Georgina
appreciate
Speaks would like to announce.
Cool.
Yeah, no, I'll do that anytime, eh?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that we have coming up is his song release for Keep You Playing,
Okay,
which
well,
is a
we'll-
fantastic song. by
We'll
the
announce
way.
it. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
But yeah, we're just, you know, he books the band, so I don't get involved in that. I just tell him when I'm available, and
Yeah.
I try to fill in the gaps with my own stuff. I'll try to do more solo.
He
gigs
likes
and
to give
stuff.
you a little space and stuff when you're playing.
Oh, I mean, you know what? It's all give and take, right? When we started
Yeah.
playing, it was a clusterfuck, and now after a year of playing together as a band, it's gotten a lot more tight, you know.
Yeah. I don't edit, and this is 43 minutes, so we're there.
Awesome.
So if you can lean in there and say goodbye, guys, and hit that red button.
Thank you, everybody, for watching Georgina Speaks. My name's Curtis Thmpson, and we'll see you next time.
Right on, Curtis. That was all right.
Yeah, man.
You've obviously
It was
done
fun.
that before.
No.
I'm Tim Dermick, and this is Georgina Speaks. Thanks, everybody, for taking the time. And if I see you on the street, be kind, would you?